Hey, Bass Geek here. Today I'm going to show you how to fish a jig on deep points during late fall and early winter. Alright guys, as you know, I have teamed up with Mystery Tackle Box, and every month I get a Mystery Tackle Box Pro, and I do what? That's right, I give it away to one of you guys. Now, since I was sick, every time I say it, I swear, every time. Since I was sick, last month I didn't get to do the October box, so we got a little bit of catching up to do. This is actually the October box, but it's got some things in it that I can share with you on how to fish late fall and early winter. So let's go ahead and dig into this box and see what you're going to get. All right, so I had this in my pocket because this is what we're going to talk about today. The Booyah, it is the bank rolling jig. I really like the setup of this jig. The head, it's a stand-up jig, so it's almost like a shaky head design. Really like that. Black and blue, we've got the XO ribbon in the 7-inch. I like that ribbon tail design. You guys know I'm a big fan of the XO baits. This is the jig rig, which is something else that could work real well on these points out here. You get a sticker with me riding a crankbait. Now, again, I'm joking, that's not me riding a crankbait. Get a nice square bill. That is something else that could work right now, especially on a day like today. It's been overcast all day long, and this water is super clear. Something that probably wouldn't work today is a frog, but that is a good looking frog. It's kind of got like it's called a yapper frog by Lunker Hunt. It's kind of got that jitterbug style mouth, so it's going to walk. You can actually probably swim it or pop it. Last but not least, we've got a Producto, the lure the pros throw. And this is a buzztail shad. This is black grape candy. I will say the colors for this lake, because this lake is super clear, it's probably 10 to 15, maybe even down here where we're at a little more. You always get your card that tells you how much everything retails for. And of course, you get your Dibble Digest. Now guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, there is a huge Black Friday sale going on. You can get 20% off of whatever mystery tackle box you want. And they have a plethora of different boxes. So if you're a catfish angler, a trout angler, I mean, they've got a ton of them. I don't know exactly what they have. I do know they've got a bunch of bass boxes too. This is the Pro, they've got the Standard, and they've got the Elite. So guys, 20% off during this Black Friday sale. And if you're a member of Karl's Bait and Tackle, which is something that I've told you, you really need to join. 99 bucks a month. They are having a huge Black Friday sale for members only right now. All right, so let's pull out the jig. And the very first thing I want to do is tell you how I'm going to rig it. Also, but right now, I'm going to tell you to skip my code in the bottom. But if you do go out there and you order the mystery tackle box or anything from Karl's, at least make sure you tell them that Bass Geek sent you. Guys, on the normal basis, you can get this for $5. Your first box for as low as $5. But I'm telling you, 20% off, that's mad. So go out there right now, make sure you hit that sale up and get your first box. There is no better time to get a mystery tackle box. Now, here's what I'm going to show you. I'm not going to use your jig because I'm giving your jig away, and we're going to be throwing it in some rock, so I don't want to lose your jig because I don't want to give you one of mine. Just kidding, I would give you one of mine. But I don't want to lose your jig. I really am impressed with that jig. I really like that, and I'm probably going to buy me some of those jigs. I'm hoping they're actually on Karl's. It's one of the things that I'm going to pick up. So to rig the jig, guys, this is a 1/2 ounce jig, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it on my standard casting jig setup. And what that means is I've got my Lew's LFS. This is a 7.5 to 1. When that bass hits, I want to set the hook. I want to get them there fast. So a 7, an 8, even a 9 out in open water, that's what you want to be throwing. Set the hook, get that bass to the boat. I'm going to throw it on 15-pound fluorocarbon. Now, if you're in dirtier water, you know, feel free to use braid, straight braid. Like I said, we're in super clear water, so right now I'm going to use 15-pound test. Now, we're around a lot of rock too, so I'm probably going to have to pay attention to my line. This is my Killer Bass Baits rod. This is a 7.3 medium heavy. 1/2 ounce, it's all you need. It's going to have a nice tip to it. You're going to be able to get a long cast. You're going to be able to set that hook on that fish and winch them in with this particular setup. Now, this time of year, me and my buddy, Mr. Tyrone House. Tyrone, step around the camera, say hey. I want to get you out in front of here real quick. Now this is my buddy, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. This is my buddy, Mr. Tyrone House, and he can tell you, we've been out here sort of graphing, messing around today, fishing. He can attest, where are all the fish today that we've been finding?
Pretty much out deep on points. You know, anything around about 30 foot of water.
Yeah.
You know, 20 to 30 feet of water.
And that is a perfect time to throw something like this, the jig. Like I said, I would probably want, but it's dead calm today, maybe a 3/4 ounce in that 30 foot. But if you've got dirtier water, that 1/2 ounce is going to do the job all day. So now, let me show you how to fish it. All right, guys, so the very first thing you want to do is make sure that you're making the longest cast possible. Always the longest cast possible. Now, you can do one or two different things. You can cast it all the way to the shoreline. If you're in a little dirtier water, I definitely recommend that. But they're going to be pulling back out off these points, and we're in clear water. So I'm going to cast out to where it's about the edge of that water clarity, so about that 10-15 foot mark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly reel my slack up, and I'm just going to lift my rod tip. I'm not hopping, I'm dragging this time of year, and I can feel all kinds of rock down there. I'm going to keep my rod, when I get contact with the bait, which is right there, I want my rod at that 3 or 9 o'clock position, and I'm going to raise it to 10 or 11, never any farther, because if I get here and I get bit, I can set the hook. If I'm here and I get bit, I can set the hook. But if I'm up here at 12 o'clock, there's no way I'm going to set the hook, and that's a great way to break your rod too. You're just going to work this back. Now, one tip that I can give you about fishing these points in the late fall, in the early winter, find that steep side. That is really where they're going to stack up on. Guys, that really is all there is to fishing a jig. Now, I do want to give you bank anglers a little tip. Go light. Fish those lighter jigs. Where I'm coming down, I'm much less likely to get hung up. Where you're going to be coming uphill, 2 tips, lighter jigs, 1/4 ounce or less, and hop them. This time of year, very subtle, light hops. Just barely move that rod tip. Don't just drag it unless you know you're not around a lot of snags. That's the 2 biggest keys. And another tip I can give you, Speaking of Karl's, guys, you know I'm a huge fan of the Trash Master. That is a 110% weedless jig. It is something that for you guys that want to get started fishing a jig, especially from the bank, man, you need to go pick some up. They're awesome. It is one of my favorite jigs right now when I'm fishing around stuff, and probably my favorite jig when I'm flipping. All right, so now I know you guys are tired of hearing me run my mouth and you want to know how you can win the box. So here's what I want you to do. Since we're talking about the Booyah bankroll, let's just say hashtag Booyah, and that'll enter you in to win the box. You'll get the box. We'll do the drawing 1 week. So this video comes out on a Sunday. 1 week from then, we'll do the drawing for the box. And just a heads up, the next 3 Sundays, we're probably doing mystery tackle box giveaways because I'm behind. So you definitely want to make sure you tune into the channel, tell your friends to tune into the channel. This is not a subscriber have to, but please, if you're going to enter the giveaway, man, subscribe to my channel, okay? All right, that is it. I want to say a big shout out to my buddy Tyrone for manning the camera for me today. And as always, questions and comments in the comment section below. Hashtag Booyah to win this box. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Make sure you ring that bell. Make sure you check that bell, that little notification bell is still ringing, because you know YouTube, they're so good at their job. And as always, you guys rock.